Good afternoon. Regarding Novak and his slow-moving plenum, this is my 600-ish, roughly, gallon aquarium. You see these are parts of Lee's under gravel filters for bowls. I've got 4 of these in here that are cut off and attached to a snap-together under gravel filter plate that runs the entire bottom of this 8-foot by 4-foot by 2.5-foot tall aquarium. I have a slow-moving under gravel filter. This is laterite. It was under the sand, and you'll see mixed in there is kitty litter. See all the kitty litter? See all the kitty litter? This is Novak specification slow-moving under gravel filter with a sand cover and sand cap. I've got Bishirs, excuse me, and I didn't want to have all these rocks in here because Bishirs they go suction to get their food, and if they get some of the rocks, then they could theoretically get impacted. Hasn't seemed to affect the boys yet. Look at the boys back there. Sick. But it could. So anyway, I tried it in this tank. The overflows are 2-inch overflows that go down to 125-gallon sump. There is a Aqua Ultraviolet 2. This is the Ultima 2. It's a 2,000-gallon version. It's pumped by an Awaze pump that pumps the maximum gallons per hour that this particular pump can handle. I also have a Pond Guys brand. This is their all clear 4500 pressure filter that's pumped by it comes as a kit. It's the biggest pond filter with the biggest pond pump that Pond Guys makes. Between those two and the under gravel filter plate, it wasn't enough. I added on a Fluval FX6 in kind of a jerry-rig version up over the top, down into there. That also wasn't enough. Finally, I redirected one of the overflows into a Brute 44-gallon Brute container. The back one has a 50-micron filter sock, and it then flows into, there's a connection down there, into this, which is a K1 moving bed, K1 media moving bed media bed, whatever. And then from there it flows back into the sump. And I've got a 50-micron filter sock on the left side. And just for grins and giggles, I've got a 100-micron filter sock on the return from this, which technically shouldn't be needed since there's already a 50-micron filter in there, but that 50-micron filter plugs up fast, so what the heck. So anyways, as you can see, I have tried a Kevin Novak filter, but wait, there's more. This aquarium was also a Kevin Novak style filter. You see there is only one uplift tube. It used to be shorter, under gravel filter with a slow-moving plenum. It has Aqua Clear 70 on it and a Fluval 407 on it now, crystal clear water, but the plenum wasn't enough. Then I have 3 40-gallon breeders. They all have an Aqua Clear 110 on the back. All of them do. This one was you can see the slow-moving plenum in it. This one was the control. It had the 2 sponge filters, and then this one did not have the sponge filter or the recirculating pump on it, but it did have the F-Zone Asta something, whatever. It's a canister filter, and this canister filter Fluval Novak recommended. It was I did it like he said to do. I had this giant mesh bag full of kitty litter and laterite, and it was supposed to be amazing and remove the nitrates. Did not work. So there you go. No noticeable results. All 3 of these 40s, I fed the same amount of food. They had different fish in them, but I fed the same amount of food. I did that for a little over 2 months. And by the end of 2 months, I was like, well, if I was going to see a change, I would have seen it, so I stopped. Now, if you're going to say, well, it takes longer than that, I'm going to say, look, dude, it's bacteria. I cannot see bacteria taking more than 2 months to establish, at least to the point where I start getting some noticeable result. Like I said, I do 25% water changes every week on these aquariums. The water I put in is well water. It has no nitrates in it. If there's going to be a result, there's going to be a result, and there's not. I then also had a second experiment. I had 4 20-gallon longs. I only have 3 set up still because, well, I don't have a desire for the 4th one or fish for it right now. But they all were set up the same way. They all were set up with an slow-moving under gravel filter plate, except for one of them that was bare bottom. And I had pea gravel, I had kitty litter, and I had one that had sand in it. So I had 3 different substrates. And one was bare bottom. So 3 different substrates and a bare bottom. They all had an AquaClear 70 back filter on it, and the under gravel filter plate, except for the control, which had an AquaClear 70 back filter on it and a sponge filter. It had, in fact, that sponge filter in it, but I took it down and I reused the sponge filter. Anyway, the test there was to see if the kind of gravel would change anything. And again, I detected no reduction in nitrates on any of them, period. And they were all getting fed the same amount of food. That experiment lasted the same amount of time as the one on the 40s, about 2.5 months. No change, nothing. So pretty sure it doesn't work. So anyway, I took those experiments down. On these 2, I just on the top one, I just extended the uplift tube. On the bottom one, I decided I wanted to try to grow some plants to see how the cat litter, because Novak had this thing where like cat litter would grow plants better than non-cat litter stuff. So here's cat litter, and I took off the back filter just in case that was going to be causing a problem. I just put on the air pump so I could see about growing plants. Anyway, no nitrates in this aquarium. Plants they aren't growing great, but they're growing pretty well. And yeah, no nitrates in this aquarium because all of those floating plants, the hornwort. This one is a slight change. This one is my first attempt at a no filter. It has nothing to do with Novak, but this one used to be the bare bottom tank that I had. And anyway, we're doing another experiment to try to see if a no filter tank is going to be kind of viable for me and my style of fish keeping. Everybody's water's different, so and everybody's fish keeping abilities and skills and needs are different. So right now it just has a couple golden wonder killifish in it and some snails. And I'm not planning on doing anything else until it kind of calms down. It's been up for about 2 months now, but there's a whole bunch of hair algae in it, and the water's cloudy. There's no detectable ammonia or nitrite or nitrate. It's just cloudy water, and I'm just going to wait for that cloudy water to go away and for the hair algae to calm down before I do anything else and add anything more. Speaking of other tests, this is another test I'm doing. It's got an under gravel filter plate in it, obviously, with the 2 uplift tubes. But I'm just trying to see if these sponge filters, when they start clouding up or blocking up, if they're going to start growing anaerobic bacteria in them, which I think will be interesting to find out. I probably will just test it until I get done and irritated with it. This has been going for. Started this at the end of May? Question mark? No, end of March. So April, May. So about almost 3 months now. I haven't cleaned the sponges. That's kind of part of the trying to get them to plug up a little bit to see if the nitrates will go down. Haven't noticed any change on the nitrates yet, so we'll see. Anyway, that's kind of why That's kind of why I'm as opposed to Novak. I love under gravel filter plates. I think under gravel filter plates work, and they're awesome, and they're amazing. But slow-moving plenums don't seem to produce any appreciable difference. Now, it might be different in a saltwater world with the Jobert plenum, but I could not detect any difference in nitrates. So maybe it's the quality of the test strips I was using, who knows. But anyway, my personal philosophy is that nitrates probably aren't a problem until you start getting up around 300 to 400 parts per million. Obviously, with me doing water changes every week, at least a 25% water change. The big tank, it usually gets about a 40% water change, because I empty out the 125. It probably has about 70 gallons of water in it from the get, at least from the overflow of the two drums. And then I take it down to about, maybe about a 45% water change. But the rest of them get like a 25% water change. The big aquarium I know is overstocked, and so it gets more water changes because that's what loving parents do. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great day.